Let's take a look at this video between Bassem Youssef and Cuomo, and this video was filmed, I believe, in November, or not November, I think it's February of this year, so it's pretty new.
Is for the best interest, and I want to challenge that, because there has been, now as an American citizen, I don't think Israel is a good friend. Can you call a country a friend if they have a spy, Jonathan Pollard, who spied on America? And he was an American, he was not Israeli. He took a life sentence in 1987. And just to spite the United States in 1995, Israel gave him the Israeli citizenship while he was in jail. That's a spite. And then he was released 2020 on a private jet sponsored by an American billionaire. You know, Sheldon Adelson. Adelson. And he was greeted at the airport by Benjamin Netanyahu. What kind of message do you give the people?
Adelson is the big Republican
yes,
fundraiser.
Yes, but like, what kind of message if the head of Israel is receiving like a hero? That, okay, what about the Herzog affair, 1950-1954, where Chaim Herzog was an attaché in Israeli embassy, and he was recruiting spies with American soil, and he was tipped off that the FBI is coming to him. He escaped, and how he was rewarded? 2 times Israeli president, 1983, 1993, and he's the president of the father of the current president today. How can you call a country, if the Apollo affair, where Rafi Eitan, an Israeli spy, stole 206 enriched uranium from Newmac? How can you call them? How can you call a country that committed terrorist attack, killing an American citizen in American soil, and then they fled to Israel, and they're not the JDL 1985, Alex Oda. He was Christian, Palestinian American, and he was assassinated by 3 members of the JDL, and they escaped to Israel, and America cannot get them back because Israel does not want to deliver. How can you call someone who commit an attempted assassination on an American diplomat, John Gunther Dean, our ambassador in Lebanon, and he wrote it in his memoir, and he said they attempt, and the American did not investigate it. What is the most lethal attack on American naval vessel in history in the Middle East?
I just want to pause here for a second. So obviously Bassem Youssef, he is giving him a history lesson, a lecture, and he asked him a question. So what was the most lethal attack on the USS military or USS military asset? Take a look at his response. He doesn't give the right response. Cuomo is so ignorant. His knowledge is so shallow. He doesn't really want to know, or maybe he's hiding something, but regardless of what it is, he is coming across as someone who should not be discussing these issues, should not be giving anybody any news, any lecture on this, because Cuomo is completely ignorant, a complete doofus.
USS Cole.
How many people died?
I don't remember, but a lot.
And he wrote it in his memoir, and he said they attempt, and the American did not investigate it. What is the most lethal attack on American naval vessel in history in the Middle East?
USS Cole.
How many people died?
I don't remember, but a lot. I went and covered
17. How many people injured? 37. But that's not the most lethal. The most lethal attack on American naval vessel was USS Liberty, 9th of June, 1967. They were attacked by the Israeli army, and they killed 34 American soldiers, injured 171, and they paid $6 million in compensation. This is how worth the American lives it is to them. Can we call this a friend?
Yes. And here's why.
Really?
Because it's messy, and it's a relative assessment. And
it is a relative assessment. It is very much what it is. I mean, why you say this is a relative assessment, so they should not be taken? This is what Israel stands for. This is what they have been doing to the United States of America. They are plundering. They are sucking the blood out of US's economy. And he's calling this a relative assessment that is null and void. I don't understand Cuomo's logic.
You have the largest Jewish population outside of Israel is in America. Mm-hmm. And they're people of pride and prominence, and the connection politically and culturally has always been strong, and it's a relative assessment. You make a checklist going back to the 1950s of what Israel has done that was wrong, and now you have to compare it to everybody else in the region that is of any value to you, and you wind up with Israel being at the top of the heap. And look, I don't have any problem. I don't think the issue is that Israel has been misunderstood as an ally and they're an enemy. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's, what do you do when your allies are in bad situations?
Really? So Israel can do anything to US, and the excuse for that is that they're in a bad situation. Israel is in a bad situation. Like, what kind of logic? This guy is absolutely out of his mind.
And there's situations that are at least in part of their own causing. What do you do? The problem is right now, the American answer is absolutely nothing, or as little as possible, because America's population is exhausted.
Really? Okay. So again, this is a person who doesn't really know what he's talking about, and looks like he's getting all the lessons from Bassem Youssef, and he's not willing to change his position on this issue. He's gonna, steamroll with his ignorance on this topic, and just gonna continue on with this conversation just to humiliate himself.
Let's analyze it from the beginning, not in terms of historical reciprocity, but on October 8th, 7th, 8th, what should have happened? What do you believe should have been the series of events that would have led us to a better place than we're in now?
Well, here's the problem with discussing this. You always reset the clock at October 7th. Always.
Absolutely, this is what they do. I'm not going to be playing the rest of the video for now, but we just want to make a few points here, guys. October 7th and what lecture Chris Cuomo received from Bassem Youssef is enough for him to really come to his senses that Israel is really not doing any good to United States. Even today, we have recently seen a report that U.S. actually gave Israel $26 billion, and they keep on giving them, and not only that, they also give Egypt billions of dollars. Do you know why? Why U.S. give Egypt billions of dollars? I think they gave Egypt last time $14 billion to protect Israel. And then Chris Cuomo will come and say, oh, the reason U.S. is giving money to Egypt is so that Egypt would not attack Israel. No, that is not the case. And this is the understanding he has about the regional relationship between countries. This is absolutely insane and mad to suggest that somebody sitting there, people like personality, like I should say, Chris Cuomo, who is so blindfolded that he doesn't want to see the reality. He doesn't want to see the truth. For him, it's all relative, matter, and that whatever Israel is doing is because they're in a bad situation, and that we need to really understand them. It's not the other way around. They need to understand. No, they don't care. Use Israel, Netanyahu. He doesn't care. In fact, he doesn't even talk to Biden. So if you are an American watching this video, you should really know that your country, the country you call a democratic country, is really not a democratic country. You do not have a country if it continues to be like this, unfortunately, but it is